Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. I hope I set up this video correctly and the light's not too bad for you. But it is Sunday morning, just a little over a week after this guy was born. And I wanted to do a quick video. Today, the family is out at church and I stayed home so that I could rest. I'm feeling really good from the postpartum and everything, but I think it's really important for women to rest after birth because it will be easier on your body if you take the time to rest at the start than waiting until your body totally tells you that you need to rest. So I figured I'd do a quick video today to just talk about breastfeeding. So for anyone who hasn't followed along, this is baby Elisha. He's nursing right now, so I'll show you him in a minute. But he is baby number 10 for us. And our oldest daughter is 21, and she is home visiting from Tennessee, where she lives with her husband, and she is expecting a baby in 2 months. And so we just have been talking about baby care, and I've been able to just walk her through what birth, I mean, she's been to a couple of our births with us, but like they were here for the actual, like when my water broke and stuff here at home, they got to come visit me at the hospital. All the kids did, but I'm talking specifically about my daughter and her husband. And we were able to talk through some of the stuff, the tests that they do on baby and all of that stuff. And we've just been able to talk about newborn care because it's very different when you're seeing your mom take care of your little brother, or when you know that you have one coming in a couple weeks and you need to, ask questions about it and all of that. So she's watched me nurse all of our babies. I have never had big problems with nursing, and I know that that's not all women, but I wanted to make this video as an encouragement to new moms. So anyway, nursing a baby is full-time work. And I don't think that enough women go into breastfeeding understanding how time-consuming it is, especially at the very beginning during your postpartum and like the first couple weeks. So when baby is first born, their stomachs are very, very small. I was looking yesterday and it was saying like the size of a pea or a small marble on that first day. So when you are nursing on those first couple days, baby is getting what's called colostrum, which is a milk, like a first milk before the milk really comes in. And it is enough to sustain baby, and it's actually very good for baby. It's got a lot of really good immune boosters and things in it, and it's very nutrient dense, and it's very good for baby, but baby only eats a little bit at a time. And the first day, baby tends to be very sleepy because they've just been through a whole process, which is great because you're very sleepy because you just went through the whole labor process. So that first day when you're at the hospital, or if you're home, if you were able to have a home birth, just really resting when the baby rests. And I know that can be hard, but it's very, very important for you. So especially on the first day, sleep when baby sleeps, because day 2, baby is more awake and baby's belly is getting bigger, and baby's body is giving your body cues. I have something on my camera that keeps looking like it's in my mouth. Baby's body is giving your body cues to produce the milk. Your body is set up that when a baby is born, it's very important to let baby suckle at the nipple when they're first born. Even if they're not fully drinking, it is alerting your body that a baby was born and is alive and needs nutrients. So your body starts the process of getting your milk ready. And if you don't have that opportunity, whether you have a C-section or baby has to be taken to NICU, and I know different situations happen, but if you miss that first hour of being able to suckle the baby, it's very important to find a way, whether it be through a breast pump or something, to make your body realize, hey, we need some milk production here. So doing what you can on day 1 when baby is still very tired. But then also when you get to day 2, baby's body is giving you cues to make more milk, which is by nursing a lot. So they kind of explain day 2 as like an all-day buffet. Baby just wants to nurse and nurse and nurse. Not so much because Like, yes, baby needs the nutrition too, but it's also because it's causing your body to bring forth the real milk. So depending on if it's your first baby or multiple babies, your milk will come in a few days. People who have had babies before tend to get their milk quicker because your body's already done it before. So baby is going to continue to nurse, and that first week is establishing a bond with your body to say how much milk your body needs. So I've already been through this week. My milk came in on day 3, I think, and I got really, really full, like they call it engorged. So I didn't have to do anything this time because I was just able to nurse him, and over the course of like 24 hours, that engorgement went away. But I remember with Virginia, when my milk came in, I needed to pump just to get out enough milk that she could latch on because I was so full of milk. So your body will adjust over the course of that first week how much milk you need to be making. I know a lot of women who want to pump to be able to make up a supply of milk for their freezer, but it's very important just to work on nursing baby for the first couple weeks because your body is going to learn to overproduce if you are pumping right from the start. Again, there are times where it's important to pump if there's a reason that you can't feed baby from the breast or baby's not getting enough. That's a reason to pump. But trying to pump extra to make extra supply for your freezer, this is not the time to do it because your body's going to then be always producing extra, which is not always. You can stop that. But when you make extra, it causes engorgement, which hurts. But also babies' bellies are very small. Like I was saying before, it goes from like pea marble size to like walnut size, which is still a very, very small amount of milk. And so your body will continue increasing the milk supply slowly over the first couple weeks. Then there is a point, and I don't remember where this is. I didn't look this up before I got on the video, but there is a point where your body stops producing more milk for baby and your body produces more nutrient dense milk as your baby needs. So I don't remember what week number that is, but with formula fed babies, you need to keep increasing the amount of formula that you give them by ounces. But with breastfed babies, you don't have to do that because your milk will actually become more rich for them. So they can continue taking the same, let's say it's 6 ounces. I don't know what it is. Can continue taking that same amount and it's just going to have more nutrition in it. So anyway, so we are doing a lot of nursing right now. Here's baby. Oh, I know you need to burp. So this is baby Elisha. And we also spend a lot of time, sorry, I'm getting myself off camera for a second. We also spend a lot of time skin to skin. So when he's done nursing, he gets tucked into my shirt. So now, you see him right there? Yeah, he needs to burp, so he's a little fussy. Skin to skin is very important the first couple days and even the first couple weeks. It helps with the bonding experience, but even more so, the calories that your baby's taking in from nursing are used to grow baby. But also, baby needs to learn how this new world works in regulating their breathing and heart rate and all those different things. Temperature. And so the skin to skin from the very first days on help them to use their calories that they're getting to maintain and gain weight as opposed to using all of those calories to maintain their temperature and their heart rate and all of those things. So this little guy, we went for his checkup at the hospital. They have you come in a few days afterwards just because of timing of when we had him and when we came home. They had us come in at 4 days after his birth. And he had already regained his body weight, which, if you don't know, I'm sharing this video for someone who doesn't have much knowledge on this, so just excuse me if you already have heard this information. But babies are born at a certain weight, and then they lose weight while they're at the hospital. just as their bodies adjust to the outside world, as they lose water weight, especially if you had a IV during labor and you had a long labor, their body weight is going to be artificially higher because they're going to have the water weight from the IV. So they are going to drop weight at the hospital. Babies can drop up to 10%, and then past that, they usually keep you at the hospital a little longer because they want babies to not lose too much, which makes sense. This little guy lost 4% of his body weight, and they would have given him 2 weeks to get back to body weight, but he got back up at 4 days. So he was 7 pounds, 6 ounces at birth. He's a little more than that now because we had him weighed 4 days ago. So I don't know exactly what he weighs. But we spent almost the entire time at the hospital skin to skin. And I really think that helps with them regaining their body weight quickly. Also, blood sugars. When they're not having to use all the calories to be able to keep up their temperature and heart rate and all of that, they're able to maintain their blood sugars better, which I was borderline gestational diabetes during pregnancy. And so they checked his blood sugar a few times. That's not a normal test they do for newborns. But because of that, for me, they took his blood sugar multiple times and his blood sugar was good every time. So just an encouragement for new moms that breastfeeding is a full-time job. Even now, I will breastfeed him and a few minutes later, he'll want to eat again. We do have times during the day where he sleeps. Like right now, I said it's a Sunday morning. I was able to watch a 45-minute sermon from church with him just laying next to me. He didn't want to eat that entire time, but then there's other times that for 45 minutes, we're kind of on and off, latching on and off to eat the entire time. And that's okay. That's how babies do it. After baby is a few weeks old, you'll notice more of a pattern. Like I'm already starting to see a pattern where I know that in the afternoon we have a longer nap window, and I'm able to take a nap, or, if I needed to make phone calls or whatever. But really it's important to take those first couple weeks and just be able to be available to baby when baby's ready to eat, when baby's hungry. I think that's another thing, is a lot of times people will wait too long to start nursing their baby because babies give you cues that they're hungry. They'll start, he's got a burp in there, I think. Yeah, he's got a burp. You got a burp, or are you hungry again? We can nurse some more. So anyway, baby will give you cues that they're hungry. And some of those cues are trying to suck on their hands. Some of those cues are trying to like bob around, looking for a boob. They might be trying to suck on your arm or suck on your cheek when they're hungry. But if you start noticing those cues, or this little fussing that he's doing, if you start noticing those cues before they're full on crying, it is easier to latch them on. Like he is now nursing and crying has stopped. Or not crying, but the little fussing he was doing. If you wait till they're full on crying, it takes a lot longer to nurse them because you have to calm them down before they can latch on. And I think a lot of times when those hunger cues are missed, it causes baby to be more distressed, and it causes more stress for mom when you're hearing baby cry. We might not feel it as stress, but our bodies do get stressed by hearing infants crying. I don't know if you've ever, especially if you nurse, if you've ever been in a store and you hear a baby crying and your body starts to do the letdown of milk, you know that your body's affected by it. And so if baby's stressed, mom gets stressed, and it's harder for that breastfeeding relationship to happen. So, yeah, I'm just making this video as an encouragement that the first couple weeks of nursing is really hard, not in painful. It might be uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful. If it is painful, you should contact a lactation consultant, talk to your local hospital, and see if there's somebody who can help you with that, because it shouldn't be overall painful. There might be a problem where you have an infection or something, or there might be a problem where baby has a tongue tie or isn't nursing properly, which is causing the pain. Uncomfortable happens, especially like right after you've had a baby, because part of the nursing causes hormones that cause your uterus to clamp back down, which is what it's supposed to be doing after you have a baby. And so you have what's called after pains. I've been told that they get worse the more kids you have, which I have found is my experience. If it's your first baby, they're more like period cramps. And when you have a baby at the hospital, you can ask for Tylenol or ibuprofen to help with those pains. And I think there's even like herbal tinctures and stuff that do that, but I don't know enough about those that I don't want to prescribe. Like, this is not a medical channel. I'm not prescribing anything, but just I know at the hospital they'll give you Tylenol and ibuprofen, and I'm sure there's other things that can be used. But the nursing itself should not be painful. But I say that nursing is hard those first couple weeks because it is so intensive time-wise. And it's really good to have a good support system who you've already talked about breastfeeding with beforehand. So whether that be a spouse or whether that be your mom who's coming to help after baby or whatever, to explain to them that nursing is going to take a lot of your time and energy. It's very important to keep hydrated. So I have a jar here with me. I'm drinking some juice. So it's very important to stay hydrated and to eat well while you're nursing to be able to keep up your milk supply. And there are also foods that help to produce milk. So like I know oatmeal is one that helps your body to produce extra milk. So if you are having trouble, you can look online for foods that would help with that. I know there's things called like lactation cookies or lactation energy balls that have flaxseed and brewer's yeast and oatmeal in them. Those are things that are all supposed to increase your milk supply. But just having your support system know that your job the first few weeks after a baby is to be working on that breastfeeding relationship. We actually had a little thing, there's birds outside. We actually had this little poster on our wall that said mom's job for the first few weeks postpartum is to eat, sleep, and breastfeed. And that's really all mom should be responsible for. Yes, I do other things than just those three things, but those are the ones that I have to maintain. And if I'm not able to maintain those three things, I need to let something else go. So I spend my time, this is our bedroom that I'm sitting in right now, but I also have a recliner in the living room. And I spend my time between those two things. And I correct children from the chair. If somebody is being mean to someone, I'll have them come over and I talk to them or whatever. But I have other people who are responsible for the meals. The most I've done for meals recently is today, while they're at church, I threw some food in the oven that was already in a pan that I took out of the fridge and put in the oven. That's the most that I've done. So making sure that you have help in place, that you don't have to be doing those things, even if that's just having a quick, sandwich, stuff to make a quick sandwich if your husband's at work during the day or something like that, but just things that you don't have to make a big focus on to get the food, sleep, and drink that you need. If you are a first-time mom and you have the ability to just rest with baby, that is wonderful. If you have other kids, I have some other videos on this channel about making postpartum meals and being able to set up schedules beforehand so that your kids know what to expect when baby comes, those types of things. So like one thing I've maintained is I lay down in the bedroom with new baby and the next one up, who's 2.5, for nap time. And so we established that pattern before baby came, that I was laying down to get the 2.5-year-old to sleep so that we could maintain it. And it was a time that I could snuggle with him and have some time, but also new baby would fit in the mix. So if you want to see some of those other videos, we'll try to link them under here. But as I said, Mark is at church right now, so he will have to do that when he gets home. But I hope that that was an encouragement to you. I'm going to plan to do another video at some point, just talking more about how I nurse when we're in public and things like that. But this one, I just really wanted to focus on the postpartum time of just really telling the real deal that it's a lot of work, but making bottles is a lot of work. Washing bottles is a lot of work. Pumping is a lot of work. So I'm not saying any of them are easier or harder than the other ones. Just know that when you're nursing, it is going to be something that's going to take time, and you need the support of the people around you. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on Herding Little Cows to the Glory of God. See you next time.